I was about 10-year-old, and I'd be talking probably back in probably 1956 stroke 57, Peter. It's a long time ago, but again, I'm not ashamed to say it. I joined them then. I think at that time, I suppose it was in the late 50s, I think there was nothing else in town, maybe only the like of the Boy Scouts. There was no such thing as youth clubs then or whatever, you know. And I suppose a leading spear for me maybe was my brother, PJ. He was in the Scouts and had been in them, I suppose, at that stage about 3 years, maybe 4 years. And the guys that were in the Scouts at that time were my peers. Like I looked up to them, like the likes of Kevin Garrett and Kieran Fahey, Johnny Fahey. Those guys, I always looked up to them, and they were in the Scouts, and they were the big boys. Lanky Dixon, Frankie Dixon, you know. So I suppose it was just a general thing that you join the Scouts. My first camp, I think, I'm almost certain sure, my first camp was in Virginia in 1957. Now, I have to say, I look very much forward to that. I suppose maybe nowadays kids are more mollycoddled that they don't look forward to camp. Camping is nearly a thing, it's a backward step for them to camp now. But in my day, camping was a holiday, and we used it as a holiday. Like naturally, you always look and hope that you'll always get your camping fortnight good. Now, I have to say, in most cases, we would have got it good. And in most times, we would have camped in my time in the first two in August. We'd always go. Maybe the last in July, but certainly we'd always be there for the first. Sometimes we'd be there for the 15th of August, but you have to remember about the long day. You want to get as long day in as you can. So the days start getting short on the 15th of August. Campfires were always a big highlight of camping. You'd always have your party piece for your campfire, and every patrol would be asked to do something for it, and you'd always get a surprise, certainly. But campfires, there'd always be good crack at them. I remember standing on a nest of wasps as a young fella. I can remember it to this day. I was running, but they were running twice as fast. I'd say I got 6 or 7 stings that same day, and lucky enough that I probably was stung dead, I don't know. And drinking out of, I used to like Bulmer Sidona, and we always had our own in our kit or whatever. You'd always have your bottle of mineral or whatever. And I remember putting up my bottle of Sidona on my head, and there was a wasp in it. So I have a phobia in wasps since scouting. If I see a wasp, even to this day, and I don't like them. I remember Dr. Dan Duffy. He was our chaplain in my first year going to camp in '57, and he came and said mass for us every morning, which was wonderful. And I've been an auto chef in Carrick here. I was asked to auto chef on camp also. And I'd say to you, you can edit it out if you want, but that first camp, I took to the area smoking. And, you know, it was one of those things, I suppose, you're a big fan, you could smoke a cigarette. So when we were away and had the liberty of being away from home, I had a few fags that year. But the rumour got around that Maren was smoking anyhow, 10-year-old or whatever. And Dr. Dan was going home, say, on the Thursday, and the camp wasn't over maybe until Sunday. And he called me into the tent. So I figured, this is it. I'm in trouble here, so I am, because I knew the rumour was going round, or the fact was going round. So he says, I'm going home now, he says, today, and I'm going up to Pierce Avenue, he said, and I'll be talking to Katie and Pete. Oh, I said, my heart fell out of me. I couldn't believe what I was going to hear. But what did he say? And I'm going to tell them that you serve mass for me every morning, and there's 2 bars of chocolate. So that let me off the hook. But in those days, like, we respected the chaplains, we respected our scout leaders, but we had fun. We had great fun. The immense, I suppose, knowledge. Also, you learn how to fend for yourself when you're camping. You know, you're away from your mother's apron strings. You have to fend to stay alive, you know, and you have to muck in with it. And I think it was all part and parcel of scouting. You learned the theory in the den, and you went out and you put it into practice then in the field. And like, you're away for 10, 14 nights we used to do. We used to do the 2 weeks. But I would think, if you asked me about scouting, I'll always remember and think of camps. And I'll always go back to a date where we had a camp, and I'll always reminisce on camps. And I think any scout today, and including the leaders, it's camps they'll always talk about. And that's what I enjoyed about scouting.